and I trained with a female bodybuilder who was a trainer in Vegas when I was living there. Um, and that's kind of where my journey started. But as far as competing, I was in a relationship with a competitive bodybuilder, and he was my first coach. And that was in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of one of those things that I stepped on stage. I did 3 shows my first year. My first year, I did junior nationals. At that time, there was no bikini. There was figure, there was fitness, and there was bodybuilding, and that was it for women. So I competed in figure. I was really small. I didn't have a lot of muscle on me, but I stayed lifting. I loved training, and that was where it started.
Mm-hmm. And you said your first person that trained was a coach, and was that a woman or a man?
It's a man. You actually know him,
Oh, who is it?
Keith Williams.
my man, Big Keith.
Yes.
That's my brother, my man, Big Keith Williams. Shout outs to him, him and his wife Tina. Oh, I got an issue with Keith right now. He was a while back. He was up in Detroit, and he had his hands on my woman. I'm sorry. This is you. This is you right now. I'm sorry. And, sometimes brothers have fights, so we just gonna cool. But yeah, shout out to my man, Big Keith. Great guy. He went through a lot last year. I mean, you still in contact with Keith?
Yes. I mean, we parted on decent terms. Relationships have their ups and downs, and we had a good run. We were family, and he was a really big part in my kids' lives. So, yeah, we're all good.
Well, that's good that and it's good that I know someone that knows him, and it's great. He's a great guy. Him and his wife Tina are great people, and it's good that it's all like I said. Again, relationship starts and ends. Like it's anything, especially in the bodybuilding world. Sometimes you evolve as a athlete, and sometimes that person, even though they get you going, but sometimes it got to get you to the next level. So you did figure for a while, and then what was that for you? Was it when did you switch over from the other divisions?
So I went from figure to bikini because bikini came out. It seemed like a good fit for me because I was smaller framed, didn't have as much muscle. My first competition doing bikini was the Arnold Amateur, and I believe that was in 2010. Um, I didn't place. Judges' feedback, I was too lean and I had too much muscle. I'm like, I'm really confused right now. I don't know what to do. So I stayed with bikini, and then I ended up switching coaches. Went with Rico McClinton, which great guy out of California. He trained with Flex Wheeler and with Chris Cormier in the old days. And I did a local show, and then I went to nationals, and then I decided, you know what? I really like training. I feel like there was 75 girls in my class at nationals that year. How does one judge? How do you see that many people? I just couldn't wrap my hand around that. I'm like, this is getting really saturated. I'm going to take time and just build and see what I can do with my physique. So in 2013 was the first time I ever competed in women's physique. Um, Took a different approach to training. I worked with a strength and conditioning coach, did a lot of Olympic lifting, a lot of heavy lifts, and was able to build a better foundation to aesthetically build on eventually. But from that show, I ended up taking an 8-year break. So I didn't start back until 2001 after that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you need time because you know what? This is a tough sport, especially for a woman. It's tough physically, mentally, financially. It's a big part of it too, especially still in the amateurs where you have to still pay to compete. You did the Arnold amateurs, which is like I said, been a big fan of Arnold. I love the movies and the Schwarzenegger, but the stuff he has done now, especially for the women's division, mostly women's body, women's physique, and figure, I just, not a big fan of. I know he still keeps the fitness still there in the teenage division, which is wellness and bikini. Those divisions are more pleasing to the mindset of other people, and it's also
Yes.
it's easy to put them together because there was there's the whole thing about the Arnold was the Olympic was too long because too many competitors. But the thing is, if you can take a division like bikini or men's physique, and you can slap a show the next day after, then it's not the fault of the of really of anybody but the promoters who just, hey, it's big money.
Right.
Mhm.
They're collecting those checks.
Yeah, we got man KL the one coming through. He says, "Good afternoon," and yeah, good afternoon, KL. Shout out to him. He also does content on women in bodybuilding and other sports. So after that time, what was things like for you going through this process? You can share that's why I took a moment and check his door for a minute. Share
Okay.
what yeah.
What was
What was like for you after when you took the time off?
oh, so life. I ended up getting into another relationship, focused on a little bit more what he was doing as a professional fighter. Ended up getting pregnant, had another child. So I have 4 kids. Um, Focused on my daughter who had atrial septal defect when we didn't know that until she was 2 months old. So made sure that she had her surgery and everything before I did anything moving forward. I decided to come back in 2021 after my dad passed away, and I saw in his drawer he had a photo from my first competition that I had mailed to him. And the letter that I wrote to him, I just really wanted him to be proud of me that I accomplished this thing and I took control of something and followed through. So that's kind of where that ended. 2021, I did 2 shows and they were both local and both bikini. But the feedback what I got from the judges was you have too much muscle, you need to change divisions.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is about, especially for athletes, especially for women, is you evolve and you grow and develop. It's hard to stay in the division. Like we keep seeing, especially how divisions evolve. Like you started about the 2000s. The girls in figure now look more like the girls in maybe physique. When it first started,
Correct.
the
Hmm.
girls in bikini are getting to the level where they might go up to figure. You have wellness, which is kind of a off looking, kind of a division. And what you went through your life, that's something that I think people have to. So, folks, we're gonna drip in her social media for a bit, and if you want to follow her on social media, the links are in the description. Reach out to her. She's a trainer if you're interested in want to be trained. But here's guys. I know she's a pretty lady right here. She's a beautiful lady.
Thank
I
you.
know especially for you schmoes, when you see these ladies, they shred it. They are conditioned. You get a little excited. Here, she has kids. No D pics. Stop it. Get some help. You're better than that. I mean, there's
Thank
other
you.
guys out there. You're welcome, man. I just want to tell them that. So here is, guys. We're here on social media right now, and we're checking out here, and this is where these got some nice pictures here. This is right here. Like this little video here. This is like chest day. Yeah,
That was like in the beginning of me starting prep for this last show.
yeah. And what's your favorite workout and least favorite workout?
Honestly, I like anything that challenges me, anything that pushes me, things that make me uncomfortable. I embrace the suck, if you will.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I know some women say that the least favorite is usually leg day. Some say back. And when and you say your last show at the Masters, what was critique the judges gave you, or what's the feedback?
The feedback I got before I did this particular show was to bring out my lap taper, bring out more of that shape. Obviously, always work on posing, and that's what I really focused on this last show was making sure that I ended up doing more back days, a lot more focus on just keeping that shape in check. And then I worked with Christina Mendoza for my mandatory posing, and then I worked with Christopher Burnett for my finals routine.
Yeah, Christine
But
Mendoza, as you know, she was, at the Olympic. She was going to qualify for the Olympia this year, but because of some health issues, she had to take a step back. Hope we might maybe see her next year. We hadn't seen her for a good while. She did pretty good, but we hope we get to see her make the Olympia next year. Here is your training here. And this is who's the gentleman who's your mitt man right here.
oh, that his name is Seiko. He's in the gym. He's a was a former fighter himself.
Yeah, and what's do you like the is boxing good cardio for you? Because I know I'm a big fan of boxing when it's coming up. I do content on MMA. You know, is that one of your favorite exercises?
So prior to doing the show in 2013, I had started doing jujitsu and Muay Thai fighting, not actually competing in it, but training. I found both to be very conditioning. Great. I got in great shape. As far as training for a show, I really don't use it because the mobility in my shoulders, I lose that.
Yeah, that's tough because I do content on MMA and mixed martial arts. Me and my partner, me and my friend, we just did a comment about we did a live stream earlier this morning about MMA and mixed martial arts. It's a lot tougher for women. Just this is why I do both content about both women's bodybuilding and women's mixed martial arts because I think you both have kind of the same kind of path. You're a sport where most people feel it is very masculine, and most people don't want to see traditional women being, especially very attractive women like yourself. And here's with your kids. And how old are your kids?
So my oldest will be 32 next month, or actually this
Wow,
month. And then my
32.
second one will, well, yeah,
You
32.
32.
And then my second one will be 28 this month. And then my third just turned 19. My last one will be 9 in January.
Wow, you got a full grown man.
I do. I
I,
do.
I,
I have two full grown men, actually almost three, because
wow, I'm looking at pictures of this woman. Wow, I mean, you must have got them young.
I was 17.
Oh yeah,
I'll be 50 in February.
I'll be 50 in November. Yeah, I wouldn't, ma'am. If I'm looking at you, I wouldn't think you're 50. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. From these pics, you
I'm
know.
trying.
And it's just like women's bodybuilding lifestyle can make a lot of women a lot younger. And this is all your kids right here. That's your oldest right
Yes.
there. That's the
On
second.
the Yep. So the middle one is my middle one. That's graduate. So the far right is my oldest, Christian. The one on the left is Devante, and then the one in the middle is Rylan, and then the one underneath him is Marcella.
Oh, that's a cute little girl, just pretty as the mama. And
Sassy as can be too.
well, that's the thing is, you got boys. Boys is
Hmm.
different. Boys, we like I said, my mother, she had 6 kids. She
Oof.
raised, yeah, because she like I said, my oldest sister is 60 years old, and she had her first child when she was 16. That's my oldest sister, and then she supposed to have 7, but we had a brother that passed away when he was childbirth. And my father was in and out. Like to quote my other guy, he says, "My father was a drunk and a fiend. My mother never liked it, not one bit." But when he passed away, before he passed away, me and my father had, as men came together as men, and we had made our peace with each other. And yeah, it's a good thing, like being a mother and raising 4 kids and being a competitive bodybuilder. It's tough. I mean, I know, especially with your youngest. I know there's days you want to spend more time with her, especially she's a little girl. And and
Hmm.
as you know, a woman can raise sons, but you can't teach a boy to become a man. But you can teach a woman to become a woman.
Correct.
Mhm.
And she's been like the days that I'm really end of prep, I don't want to do cardio. I'm like, oh, I'll just come back and do it later. She's like, just get it done, mom. She goes to the gym with me. I work as a full-time trainer. She comes there and she's like, just get it done and then you can rest. Like she's a little voice of reason, and great supporter. When I booked the flights for the show itself, she's like, well, you're booking me too, right? I'm coming with you. So
Yes,
she's been to the last 2 shows for sure.
she's about the same age as Keith and Tina's daughter, Kansas, because
Yeah.
she goes to the show with her. She was at the she was with them when they went to Rising just a couple of months ago. Cute little girl, Kansas. She's a big girl too. I mean, you got to think about it. You got Big Keith, you got Tina. You put them together, boom. You got a giant.
We got a little
We got
warrior.
yeah. We got here Tony 97. He says this. He says Tony says, "Good afternoon, Sandra. You look magnificent." Also, this from man K. Ellie says, "What? That's a nice. Your father kept a picture of you in your first competition. That's great."
Thank
Also,
you.
this is what he says to George the bouncer. Well, he referenced because this is what it is. I had quite a few jobs when I was coming up. I used to work when I was, by the time I was 10, 12 years old, I was working. I got my first main job when I was 16, working at a gas station. Then I was working at a textile plant for like 13 years. I worked with women a lot. Then I had a couple of jobs here and there, and one of my other jobs was I used to work in a gentleman's club, so in or who you call it, the booty club, and I did that for work. Work around women. I really see, sometimes you got to understand as a man, I can never truly understand what it'd be like to be a woman, what you go through. I can only see from what my mother go through, my sisters went through, and the other stuff they went through. But as that, my experience, I really got an ear when I listen to, because when we feel comfortable about talking with somebody, especially a man, you have to really be more, be open minded. So here, also he says this. He says, Sandra, you ever tried squatting someone over your head? That's challenging.
Over my head.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
he has shoulder issues, so I don't think that's a good idea.
don't think so.
No, I
No.
don't think so.
Also, this is the first time I've ever had to deal with an injury. Um, I was diagnosed with severe spinal stenosis last
Mhm.
January, and it was triggered by me shoveling snow, not from squatting, not from deadlifting, nothing like that. I had this back pain that was like sciatica all the way down my leg, down to my foot. Went in, they did an MRI after me trying to go to the chiropractor, doing massage therapy, doing everything I would normally do to like relieve pain, and it wouldn't go away. But apparently, there was a disc that's out of place, which I'm not surprised that happens with lifting, and it's pretty common. But with the stenosis, the narrowing of the spinal cord compressed those nerves, and having to work around that, not being able to do as much backloading or hinging, it just changed the way I did training. I was trained a lot smarter this time.
Yeah, so work harder, work smarter. Yeah, I can
Mm-hmm.
understand, because I have issues right here. I have a spur in my left shoulder. I got a tear in my right. I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's from years of working, hitting concrete. Concrete does not bend. You stand on
Nope.
it all day. So, and plus it's tough dealing with injuries, especially you want to bring in the best presentation of your physique, especially if you think about your back. Because
Mm-hmm.
I've some ladies have told me that the back can win or how you place in shows.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was talking with Charlotte Boswell a while back when we interviewed, where she said that year she competed at the 2020 Chicago Atlanta, it was between her and Teresa and Vasic. And Teresa's back is like, wow. I mean, you ever seen her back? It's like, she just needs a little more work down the other half of her, but just impressive lady. And too bad she didn't make Olympic this year. We got here from Tony 97. He says, are you off prepping for the show, or are you off, or are you prepping for a show? So is there any plans for, because I know there's not too many shows left. There is the Nationals that's come up this weekend, but you just did the Masters USA's about a couple of weeks ago. So what's the plan? What is you and your coach have been talking about? What you've been doing?
So we've decided that I'm reversing, going into a building maintenance phase, health phase. We are going to do Master Nationals this year. That's the plan. Um, I did Master USA's the past 2 years, and then I also did Universe the 2022 as well. So I think doing Pittsburgh is a good, smart move for me, especially staying in Masters, being 50. I intend to probably enter more categories this time to have more stage time to kind of get those nerves out, because I feel like that's what hit me this time was in the overall comparisons. You feel a different pressure that you've not felt before when you haven't been in that position. And you can't simulate that with anything. Even with all the practice posing or whatever, that's where I felt like things changed for me.
Yeah, Masters get really grown in the last few years, because they just had the Masters Olympia just
Hmm.
a while back. They have Gary Udi also has showed the Masters World Championship. I know a couple of ladies that competed at that show. The Masters Olympia, that's going to be bi-yearly, because they won't have to 2025. Would you, if you ever get a chance to get your pro card, we consider that as one of your debuts, or you think about something else?
Oh, is which one? The Olympia, I think you have the Masters Olympia. I think they're
Yes,
doing a qualification for it now.
no, I think it's an invite.
Is it invite?
It's an
Oh,
invite. So
I
you
would
can
love
put,
that.
yeah, you can put your invite in,
I would
because I think, because
I would
yeah.
absolutely love that.
Yeah. And okay, but what would show if you ever what would show would you like to make your debut if you could?
I think I would discuss it with my coach, but probably if Master Nationals goes well, doing the Masters World in Pittsburgh with Gary Udit, that would be Great. I lived in Pittsburgh for 2 years. It's a great city.
Yeah, I know quite a few ladies who have interviewed coming from Pittsburgh. Yuta is the king of Pittsburgh, and
Hmm.
also the Mannion family's in Pittsburgh. That's where they are at. And I know, a few ladies have got the shows like, there's the, you saw the list. I think I sent you the list because
You did.
you are, yeah, part of the list for his upcoming shows. He did a new show this last month, which was the Natural Show, and there's a lot of opportunities for physique, not as much for bodybuilding, but
Hmm.
the divisions where I keep seeing it are starting to meld to one another. Where you starting not like we were talking earlier, how the physique girls are looking more like the women's bodybuilder, and how even the figure girls look more like physique girls. Like if you go like Julia McCarr or Danielle Bailey, in the figure division, how they starting to look like.
Yes. I feel like it goes through cycles like that. And then the organization sets it back. Like, this is clearly what we're looking for. And then they start picking people based on trying to set that tone.
Yeah, because that's one thing is that I think the judges have a lot more control when it comes down to where you place, how you go, and that's one thing. Also, the executives need to sit down. Okay, when you sit down, like we're changing. I think after the Olympia, they changed the criteria for men's physique, and I think they changed it for men's classic. They still, I
Classic,
think,
they went up a weight, like
yeah,
7 pounds, I think.
yeah, I think because I talked to the guy, his name is Keith Holmes, and he competes in classic. Him and his wife Daphne, they competed in Tampa a while back. He told me they went up in weight, and I think they hadn't really settled on the most definitely divisions I mostly focus on is women's physique and women's bodybuilding.
Yeah, I don't think they've made anything. They haven't made any changes. There has been, like, the shows that I did recently, there was a lot of crossover between the two.
Yeah, because you can. I think with masters you can double dip. You can go, especially in the pro level, you can do both open you can do masters in women's physique and in women's bodybuilding because you can
Correct.
cross over, but you still have to pay. That's the crazy part. When you
Yes.
hit the pro level, what's the point? I mean,
You
it don't make sense.
yeah.
Yeah, we get here from Matt KL. He says this. He says, "Damn, sorry for asking that question before. Didn't know you were suffering your spinal area like that. That's cool. We got now. So
It's not public info. It's all
yeah.
good.
So and also he says this. He says, Paige Sebrin, I think she's from Pittsburgh. Yeah, Paige lives there. Shout out to Paige. She is a figure competitor I interviewed a while back. Also, she's a content maker. As a competitor, what do you feel you need to progress into your next level, into to eventually get a pro, or even just placing better at a show?
Comfort on stage, dealing with that pressure. That's going to be the main thing. Presentation can always be better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as my physique, if I keep working hard, keep doing conditioning, doesn't seem to be an issue for me. I feel like by looking at the pictures, some of the pictures I saw from the last show, they caught me in between setting. So I don't know that it's a true reflection. I did order the pictures from the show photographer, so I'll see what those look like. Um, but staying conditioned, just do what I'm doing and keep doing it better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough process, and and you have to really put into work and the mindset, and we asked you a little about your coach and trainer. Who's your coach and trainer?
Monte Bailey, he was also a Olympian, not this year, but prior year. He's men's physique and he's actually moving up to classic.
Yeah, classic is I call it men's figure. Because come on, it's just a throwback because I think guys like Arnold they love it. The throwback like the Frank Zane, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney era. But if you look at it, as divisions are always changing. When we started again, it was just women's bodybuilding figure and fitness, and then bikini comes in. Technically, bikini was more like brought in, and then with physique, it kind of evolved from really for women's bodybuilding. And then you have wellness or something that was brought in because it was work for women who had those, as Keith said, like this, those Afro genetics, bigger hips, smaller waist, those things that most other women don't have that it wouldn't fit in other divisions. I've seen some women who are at one point doing physique, and then go to wellness. I've seen women who done figure going to wellness. And would you ever consider that division for yourself, or you feel like you're more interested again, you're more the larger physique type?
I have really narrow hips. So I don't know that that would be conducive. I mean, could I build my legs? Absolutely. But I also have big traps and big shoulders. So I don't know. I think that's not a good fit for me.
Not a good fit. So we got that out of the way. But also, as I was doing research on her, I found out something about her that she is a victim of domestic violence, and it is tough. And my mother and my father went through it. My sister, she went through it. I just, like I said, I gotta congratulate you. You're still here, and you raising good kids, and I know it's tough, especially for a woman, especially for somebody who's supposed to love you and supposed to love you back. So, folks, I have a video. She did an interview a while back. You want to check out the interview and really get to know what this lady's been through. She, like I said, this is why I do this. This is why I reach out to people like her. The story really will interest them. Maybe just somebody who's out there who's been through that, and maybe inspire them to maybe change their life. So we're gonna go here and show the video here, and people hope you like it. Here it is.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and a Robbinsdale woman's story shows the difficulties of being involved in an abusive relationship.
She is now sharing her story of struggle and survival to help others. Here's reporter Sonia Goins.
At one point, Sandra Avelli's life was as choppy as the waters of Crystal Lake. And by all accounts, she shouldn't even be here to tell her story.
It hit me like I was a man.
In 1993, she married a man who she thought was going to love and protect her.
He charmed me. We left Minnesota, went to Las Vegas.
They eventually had a child together, but the relationship was rocky.
He became very abusive, and he was not faithful. So I would confront the situation, and it was my way or the highway.
She tried to leave several times, but he continued to beat her.
A lot of punching. He had threatened my family that he was going to harm them if I didn't come back.
Neighbors called police, and Sandra's abusive husband ended up in jail. But Sandra felt guilty. She bailed him out as she left town.
I finally was done. Like, I'm not going back. You can have everything. I don't want anything but my freedom.
Although they separated, Sandra's husband wasn't out of her life. Working through a mediator, she agreed to a custody arrangement with the couple's son.
We had an agreement that he would keep him a certain time and I would keep him.
But things turned south again.
Then he starts looking through my house, ransacking everything.
Sandra says he took guns that she had purchased for protection.
I had a permit to carry.
He pointed one of those weapons at her.
Puts me on my knees in front of him, assassination style. Now, mind you, this is a double-barrel shotgun that I loaded because I had it for protection.
He hit her with the gun and then pulled the trigger.
All bodily functions, everything went because I figured that was it.
Luckily, the weapon jammed.
He opened it to see if there were 2 shells still in there, and he pulled the trigger again, and it did the same thing. And at this point, he fell to his knees with me and started crying.
Sandra consoled him. She did and said whatever it took to calm him down.
I don't know if he's going to come back. I don't know if I'm going to live another day.
But she did survive. Her husband went to jail after Sandra pressed charges. He was sentenced to 5 years and 5 months. And Sandra spent the next years living in fear.
I was walking on eggshells on a regular basis, always looking over my shoulder.
It took some time, but Sandra finally realized her worth.
I have a tattoo on my foot that says faith with each step. And that is a clear reminder to me to keep going forward.
She became stronger on the outside too, working out in the gym.
I learned how to defend myself enough to where I'm still here.
In 2006, she became a professional bodybuilder.
I wanted to take control, and I wanted to show that I could emerge from all of this.
She vows never again to let anyone harm or take her peace.
I find it very rewarding to help others find their strength. I don't know where things will go, but I know I have purpose.
Sandra is now in a good place. She started her own personal training business to help others take control of their lives, especially those caught up in domestic abuse situations. She wants them to know that there is help available. Mike and Alex, there's
That is really, folks, if you've never been through it or you've never seen it, because like I said, I've seen my parents argue. I seen my sister went to my house, to my mama's house after her husband beat her. And I tell you, if you have not seen it or witnessed it, is tough. And especially you have a child, a son together, and that was the oldest boy, right, at the time. He was his father.
So they showed a picture of my oldest son. That's not actually, there was a couple facts that they did incorrectly in the story.
Oh,
I'm not a professional bodybuilder, um, amateur. The photos they pulled of, it was my oldest son that they showed, but that's not, it's the second one is his.
okay. So yeah, okay. So we got that straight. You should. That's the
Yes.
thing is, when you do any kind of research, like that's why I always try to do this. Before I even do something, I try to research. Sometimes I make mistakes, but I try to get back to them correctly. Because a couple of times I do some videos, I the ladies say, "Hey, you didn't do it." Oh, thank you for letting me know that. I'll make sure I do it right next time. But yeah, it's like, is he still around, or is he still in contact with your son, or?
No, he's actually not seen my son. So with, they didn't, there's some more details. When he was out on bail, he bailed out when he was going through the proceedings, and he broke into my mom's house when I was there, assaulted one of my friends that was there with me. Our son he was just turned 2. He had a fever and was sick, so I had him wrapped in my robe trying to like get him to sweat it out. He ended up taking our son, was on the run with him for probably a week. But they showed it on the news. That was the last time my son's seen him. So
That's
I ended up I got him back from then. And that's all of this, as much as it sucked to go through, like all of this made me who I am today. It's made me the mother I am. It's made me the protector that I am. It's made me the teacher that I am. I couldn't have the knowledge and the patience to offer the people that are in my lives had I not experienced the things that I have.
That's pretty good, because like I quote movies, and one of it is from Rocky Balboa. It says, "Not my how hard you get hit, it's how hard you take the hits and keep moving forward." And you kept moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
and you raised 4 lovely children, and
Yes.
2 grown men, one about to be a grown man, and a pretty little girl, and you're still here, and you still have a passion for a sport of bodybuilding. I know, quite a few ladies I've talked to who have dealt with domestic violence. They say bodybuilding was that thing that was the gym was like their therapy. It was a place for them to go, to work on themselves, to build themselves, and to get stronger. It's tough to to do what you do, take care of kids, to work, and to maintain a household, and deal with somebody who don't. I'm like this. I remember this is an old cowboy movie I used to watch. And he said only thing a man should beat a woman with is between his legs. That's it. That's just old fashioned thing. But it's just sad that if you don't feel like you don't think not working out with somebody, you don't love them like that, then we move on. But be like this. Be a father to your children. That's the most important thing. Here, this is from Omar Costa. You got a fan. He says, "I need this beauty for me." I don't know. She might have somebody. She might, I think you better wait in line, Omar. I'm sorry, brother. And also this is from KL. He says, "This is real life sleeping with the enemy." And he also says, you could make a screenplay about this. Hey, you could be like
I could.
Lifetime movie of the week. I mean, that is, the female bodybuilder who, people love to see that. Now, as a mother, and what's it like with your kids? When we first competed, we first started, what was it like for the kids?
I want to say the first show I did, I think it was rough for them because I didn't know what to expect. And when I got to like peak week, my mom picked them up like, "You're kind of mean. You need to not be around them right now." And because my patience, I've experienced suffering, but not that I've chosen before. Like I chose this. And now it's different. Now it's like I can express, the ones are older, but with my little one, I tell her this is what I'm feeling. I'm kind of tired. And I think having that open dialogue and what to expect, I think whether it's kids, your significant other, your clients, or your work life, whatever, as long as you're communicating, this is what I'm feeling. This has nothing to do with you. And then you can deal with it better. It's a better acceptance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because one thing, especially when you're prepping and
Mm-hmm.
you're cooking for the kids, and you eating quinoa and dry turkey, and they're eating mac and cheese with chicken nuggets, and you look at it and say, I want to hit you for that. I want to. I know you try to fight that. So no, I gotta be a good mom. Even though you might want to take your daughter and say like,
Actually, during the end of prep for her, she's like, Mom, I'm sorry. I know this smells good for you.
That's such a sweet baby,
I'm like,
sweet baby.
and here's the thing is when you put so much into something, I'm not going to sabotage it. The food's always going to be there. Like if I can have some free meals now, I can have some treats now. The food's always going to be there. That getting to that goal and sacrificing all the suffering that I put in, I'm not going to sabotage myself for a bite of her mac and cheese. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because food is one thing people got to say. Food is one of the necessary process of bodybuilding, and when you understand the process, you can really know what you're going with. Because sometimes you just can't eat everything. I know there's like times where, like, well, when your last competition, what was that thing you want that you get a chance to eat that you were just craving for?
This last one. So this past show, I only had one refeed before peak week. And prior to that, the show before, it was every week I had a refeed of a burger and fries. So I was like, I want my burger and fries, damn it. Like now.
What's your favorite place to go?
Here there's a restaurant called Red Cow, and it's so good. So good. It's quality. It's not like super greasy. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, well, I think for us here who are not bodybuilders, like McDonald's or Burger King, but I can understand the good, real cooked meat where it's not too greasy, but sometimes that greasy salt tastes good. It's like,
it does. You're not wrong.
yeah, that's the thing is, but that's one of the process. Because people think, mindset of everybody outside of this sport of bodybuilding is like, it's just you take steroids, you take this, you take that, yeah. You just get put. No, that's only a small factor of building the body. It's about consistency, following your diet, working out, having a plan. Everything is consistent. And if you're not consistent, sleep, also prepping, also everything is part of the process. Just some pills and stuff. That's just one of the factors of it. Because we talk about there was the natural bodybuilding, there's like the more organized bodybuilding. We know like NPC and IFBB. But if you're not willing to follow those processes, not willing to put in the time and work in it, it's not a sport for you.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah, like Ronnie Coleman says, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but we don't want to have this heavy ass weight.
And nobody wants to eat the same food every day.
Yeah, you get tired. You're like, oh my god, there's so much you only do with broccoli and cheese. Yeah, you just. but as you feel like this, what is the expense of bodybuilding? It's crazy what you ladies. It costs you ladies more to compete than the men.
And there's less reward.
Yeah, because you think about it, just me and Key was talking. He's talking about this guy Samson. Samson took third at the Olympia. He gets $100,000. Andrew Shaw gets $50,000. She's a champion.
Samson 4 times.
Four times. I just and then you ladies, especially when you hit the pro level, you do a show. If you're lucky, you're like someone like Sarah Vickers is doing. She put up $15,000 at the Texas Pro, or she puts up $20,000 at the Pittsburgh Pro. And that'd be a good show you want to make your debut at, as long as a certain person's not there, But you ladies, you compete at shows that you just like. I was talking with one lady, Jackie Hale. We were talking earlier last week. You're just competing more in the red and in the black because the cost of your suits, the cost of your travel to the shows, hair, makeup, posing, tanning. You gotta pay your coach. And then all that and you have, like your Nachio, he's still at home?
No, actually he moved out. My 27-year-old's still here though.
So
but he actually helps me. That's good.
Yeah, because I lived with my mom for a long time before she passed, and we were roommates for a long time. And I helped too. But that money that could go to to your children or to where you want to get this, it's all going to, like, you gotta think about it. If you look at the men's division, they got paid for a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. That's like $50-$60, where you get a suit that might cost you your rent, your a mortgage, car note,
car payment. Yeah.
It's just not fair that when you go to shows, if you're lucky enough, you go to a show that might give you $5,000, but then, that's not enough.
You've spent, it doesn't really offset what you've already invested in it.
Hmm.
So you really do this, you can't do it with the result in mind. You have to really do it because you enjoy the process. You enjoy pushing yourself. You can't do it for that. And it's not like a career.
Yeah, because if you're lucky enough, unless you're in men's division, where it's kind of be a career, depending, if you're like the Lungsford dude who just won 400, nearly $500,000, but I think we're talking to some ladies, they do it for the passion, they love this sport, and Keith told me this. Keith the one who told me this, that this is the poor man's sport, but he's been competing for a long time, and he saw it, he's been there, done that, and I respect Keith, and for me as a fan, you ladies, I respect what y'all do. I've been following bodybuilding for a long time. I grew up, the tail end of the Schwarzenegger era, the start of Lee Haney, and then when I got a little older, then y'all ladies, y'all were just something that the other guy would say, it complete him. Y'all were just something different, and just taking the aspects of a woman's body and changing it. Where women usually are soft and I'm from the South. Our women are a little bit more soft, a little more healthier. But you taking a woman's bodybuilding, it's a bodybuilder taking you change it, and and just people don't understand it. Like why would you want to do this? I know, like you're an attractive woman, but I know you get comments from the guys out there say, why you want to be this muscular? I mean, what was that with your family when you started doing it? What was their thoughts on it?
My dad never said too much. My mom usually, I'll come over like when I'm really cut, like even 2 weeks out. There's food on the stove. I made you some shrimp. I made shrimp. I'm like, I can't eat that. She's like, well, it's protein. I'm like, I can't eat that. She's trying to feed me, but she's told me she's proud of me. She sees what I'm doing. She doesn't necessarily understand it, but she's like, don't get too big.
Yeah, that's always.
I don't know what that means.
But see, there's this woman. I think her name is if you ever heard of her, her name is Amazonica, not Natalia.
Yes.
That's what they fear. They feel like I used to send pictures to Keith. He told me to talk. He said, "You don't want." I used to say, "Hey Keith." I used to send pictures and pick on him. He said, "Hey Keith, you don't want." He said, But I think that's a concern because I feel like you get to bodybuilder, you can be like as big as a man, but a woman's body is different from a man. You're genetically different. We're the same species. We're both humans.
Yes.
But we're different breed of humans. Women are different from men. Like this is the purpose of men's life: is to build, battle, and to die. That's it. We're done. But we women, y'all are nurturers, y'all carriers. Or like you have 3 sons. A boy's best friend is his mother. I think people don't understand that it's not body breaking; it's body building, and it's getting to that next level. Especially as you're still in the trenches, you have your boots. As I said, you have your boots on the ground, 10 toes down. You're still in the trenches, and you want the opportunity to get up there with the big dogs, to start with the top level of in your divisions in your sport. But people got to understand that if you don't understand the sport, then keep your comments to yourself.
Right. And I've been really grateful that I don't really feel like people have attacked me for. And honestly, I don't care because I don't really do it for anybody else. I do it because it's something that I enjoy and I like pushing myself. And coming from the domestic violence side of things, it was somewhere where I had control in my life. And I still use it. It's a hobby, but it's fascinating what we can do with the physical body, what we can manipulate with diet, with cardio, and how we can reshape ourselves.
That's why I enjoy doing these interviews because like before my mom passed away, I was almost 500 pounds because my mother was sick. I was taking care of her. And when she passed away, my family told me it's time to take care of yourself. I said, you know what? I need to change some things. I am right now probably the lowest I've been in a long time. I'm like about under 400. I'm like 398 last time I got checked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was working out for a good bit, but things happen right now. I got to get back to the gym and I got to get some things taken care of. It's tough, especially, I still, I eat pretty decently, but sometimes we got here. This is from Omar. He says, "This woman is a real heroine of Marvel and DC Comics."
Tell them that. I'll take a job.
Hey, most definitely. I know. Timo sometimes she was talking with some people about maybe doing some work with them. I know me, Tina, and Keith talk about this. I think one thing you look at comic books, they don't go with it because I collect comic books. They don't go with the idea of what you see in the comics because the everyday person doesn't like women like that. Because I did a lady, her name is Sue Price. Sue Price did a movie called it was a movie series called, what was the movie? I forget the name of it, but she was one of the few bodybuilders that we see in movies. She even had a nude scene in the movie. Rose Hollett, if you remember, Zap from the old American Gladiator series. She did that movie with John Ritter. I mean, idea people don't think that women with muscle can be attractive or feminine. Right now, I'm talking to a very attractive woman here right in front of me. She got her hair done. She got her V-neck on. You can see her pecs. This is a very attractive woman, and this is somebody I would say, okay, what character could you play? I mean, I'm trying to think of.
Well, did you see on my page? I could be Katana easily.
Katana. Oh yeah, test your mights. Yeah, that'd be great. Mortal Kombat. They did that. I think they had a movie a while back. Wasn't that good? The original is the best. That is the best one. I mean, but this is one
As far
thing.
as like DC, I'm not sure. DC, Marvel, I don't know. They'd have to come up with a new one.
With Marvel, maybe DC, maybe Catwoman.
Mm.
Yeah, you can be silly cow, because sometimes I'm even though I'm a bachelor, I'm Bruce Wayne without being there as the Batman. So but yeah, I think it could work for you. You have that look to you. So this is one thing to talk about in sport of bodybuilding, especially for you ladies, is that even because sports expensive, a lot of ladies they do stuff on the side. I don't know if that's not your interest or you want to do it. Well, how guys talk about OnlyFans, also as I call them, excuse my language, that's what they are. The Beat the Meat websites, that's what they are. Because the guys who come on there, we get entertained by you ladies. We love you ladies. We are fans of you ladies. Some guys get a little bit extreme. I know you have guys like say, "Can you do a flex for me? Can you?" Yeah. What's your mindset of it? As a competitor.
To each their own. I feel like everybody has their own journey. I don't judge other people for their choices. I've had people ask me why I don't have an OnlyFans because I have taken some risque photos and I enjoy the artistry of modeling. You know what I mean? I've done it for a long time. Personally, I don't have one. I do have children and I have men that are my children. And I don't want to put them in a position to ever, A, come across something of their mother that they don't want to see or their friends. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. I do aspire to write and share my story and do those things, but as far as it's just not for me.
Yeah, because I think it's particularly for the people who feel like they want to do it, especially as being a bodybuilder, there's not a lot of money in it. It's a way to circumvent a little cash flow. Some ladies have full-time jobs. I know Tina, she has her job. I know some ladies who work in the business world. They still do little stuff just for, nothing too risque, but just stuff maybe to, put a little money in your pocket, especially after the
Supplement.
shows. Yeah, especially after the shows when y'all ladies it's okay, y'all ladies are shredded and ripped and y'all like just raw. One lady I got to meet who does she owns her own is Annie Revicchio. I went to Savannah a while back to my first bodybuilding show. I saw Annie Revicchio. She runs Muscle Angels. She's a legend, and I ladies talk about how well she works with her. It's like I say, you ladies, you represent something that's just totally different in the mindset of the everyday idea what is supposed to be femininity, and that's always a debate about in bodybuilding. How somebody said, I don't want to go too far because I might lose my femininity.
I think your femininity is within you. So you do what's comfortable for you. I feel like no matter how muscular I get, I'm still pretty feminine. It's my mannerisms, it's who I am. And that's never going to change.
Well, man, I'm going to pull on my Festus Haggis hat from Gunsmoke. Said, you are a pretty woman, Miss Avelli. I'm going to tell you that, sitting down here. I've interviewed quite a few pretty women. You're one of them. And that's the debate that people are going to understand. We can understand that you are still a woman. And one thing is that that's the thing that people need to realize that no matter what level you go to in this sport, in this division, as long as you are a woman and you're feminine, you can move and walk away, you feel like as a woman. I think we should recognize that. I know I do videos and make them, and some guys say, hey, what's that? That's a dude. No, that's not. I usually just, hey man, just get off my page. These are women. These are I got to meet some of these ladies in the past, get to talk with them, being a fan. I become friendly with these ladies, and I really respect what y'all do. Except again, it's a tough sport to
It
do
is.
this day in, day out with little fanfare, barely any support. I know there's days where you say, like, you know what, I don't feel like going working out. I don't feel like doing this. I feel I just want to go home and just eat ice cream and watch soap operas.
I mean, there's days where it's more challenging, and yeah, for sure. Like, you don't like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm doing it because I want to, but I don't have to. It's choice.
Yeah, like anything's a choice when you are willing to do this,
Hmm.
and to get up in the morning, go do your cardio and do this exercise and count your macros and go to your posing coach and when it's just so much. And I mean, like I said, I couldn't do it. I can respect that's why I respect what you ladies do. I mean, if this was an easy sport, it was a sport where there was more money, more gratuity for you ladies, I think you deserve it.
I mean, I think it would be nice to see more rewards for the females on this side of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, folks. We're not going to hold the lovely Miss Avelli too long. I mean, it's great to conversate with. Just, I know you guys out there. I got like umpteen guys out here. Hey, guys, hey, calm down, calm down. As, we get a lovely lady like you. You just really have to enjoy a conversation with her. But I know she's a busy lady. She has responsibilities. She has this, that, and I do appreciate the time she has given me. It really is. These people who out there who've been through like her, especially domestic violence, reach out, get help. If you want to talk to someone like Sandra and ask her what got her through the way, I mean, her social media stuff is in the description. I mean, reach out to her with genuine interest. Don't be that weird guy. Say, hey, Sandra, pretty girl. I like that short hair. I've seen some of your pictures. You want to? No. Stop it.
Are
Stop
you
it.
in my messages? Did you get into my messages?
No, what?
I'm
This
just
is the
kidding.
thing is, when you confront with some of these ladies, they tell you stuff. And
Yeah,
I
you're
said
right.
this,
You're not wrong.
yeah,
You're not
because
wrong.
that's what I said. I worked with women for a long time. When women feel comfortable with a man and they want to tell you something, they'll tell you something. I mean, one girl, she sent me a thing, said, hey, George, do me a favor. Will you post this and send it to somebody? Because this guy, he sends stuff. I mean, and that's why I tell, well, we're doing interviews, say, hey, guys, no D pics. Women don't want to see that. They don't. I know,
No.
like this is old saying. It's a small saying. When you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. But you don't want to see that. It's nice. It's better like this. I keep saying, guys. It's better to give a woman a silk glove than an iron fist. I mean, it doesn't work. Just be genuine. Like one thing is like, you have any sponsors working with you now, or you just doing it on your own?
Um, Sponsors. So Liana Organics, which is out of Colorado, they've been great. I worked with Prozis during this last prep, and they were super helpful. They're out of Europe, and they have a really great wellness line, but they also have clothing. Not sure as far as going forward with what things are going. Liana definitely staying on board, but I'm talking to some other companies right now.
Well, I know a lady. She's doing something. She's out of Texas. Her name is Eunice Martinez Kitchens, and she's doing a shirt. It's like a brand of her own called Bad Rap. If I get up, if I'm done, I'm see you check it out. She's right now just working with people within her area, but she might really want to expand. If if something interests you, maybe buy a product, or like I said, you're an attractive woman, and we can always use very stunning, attractive women to really push, especially for women's bodybuilding. Like one guy who really saved women's bodybuilding was Mr. Jake Woods. I'm always saying, as I say Jake's name, I can say, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. I'm sorry every time I see his name, I gotta say it because I don't know a lot about that. But I think this is what I would do for you. I would say, Mrs. Avelli, my name is such and such. I have a product. I want to work with you. If we have a plan put together where you agree with it and we will set a price, everything what you need, like travel expenses, everything else, we will work with you and want to see you grow as an athlete. We know we have those guys out there who have those ideas. Okay, come on, guys, stop it. Don't do this. Come on. But if you are someone out there who is interested in sponsoring her, instead again,
Legitimately.
legitimately and with legitimately and with you are certain you are interested in her, not because this or that, just because you want to see an athlete grow in her path. Her social media stuff is in the description. Check her out, follow her. Respect her as a mother, as a woman, as a business person. Respect her for that. I know you guys said again, guys, stop it. She got kids. Last thing you want to do is see your son beat some guy in the middle of the street because you see this is my mama. You see this is my mama. You got these three big old boys jumping on you like, do like Dusty Rose. Stop it, guys. But we're gonna end this like this. And so again, as an athlete, what would you like to see in the whole of the sport change in your mindset?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
Yes.
You're like, yes, I know. I saved that for that.
Yes.
Well, like you said, having the female athletes have better reward, especially because we invest a lot more into it. I think as a whole, that would be really, really appreciated. And I think you're going to get better quality athletes. Not that there's not quality athletes out there, because man, there is. There's a mad respect for the people that are just killing it. And the stigma that's attached to female bodybuilders, like you said, there's because we're masculine or whatever. I think mainstream people, if they could have a more of an open mind and respect, would be. But we can't change how people think. We can just hope for them.
Yeah, this is you can't ever really change the mindset of the masses. You still gonna have us few who guys like Omar and Tony and KL and myself who respect you ladies, who are fans of you ladies. We had done things that we don't want to talk about. But we respect hard work you put into this. This is a tough sport. It's said again, you're changing the aspects of what is considered feminine. You're changing the aspects of femininity. It's just, especially everyday John. Like this guy here, John Doe. He says this. He's everyday John Doe saying this. Says, thanks, Sandra, for taking the time to share your incredible story with us. Keep us the good and hard work and making a name for yourself in the sport. And these are the guys who support women like you, because they come to the shows, they buy the streams, they follow your social media. They, those are people we appreciate, because the fact is, it's a tough sport.
It is.
And it's a sport where there's little fanfare, not as much support, unless you're the guys. This is true for the guys division. It's the bottom bitch. It's the ones always bringing the money for the promoters and stuff like that. But you ladies, I enjoy watching you ladies. I enjoy, following you on social media. I enjoy the process. Like, my favorite, as I said again, Sandra Shaw. I love her. She's an amazing lady. She's really bringing a new look to women's bodybuilding that I think I haven't seen since, I think, the Linda Murray era. Who do you think is in your mindset is someone you really admire in the sport?
Oh, Andrea's great. Christina, she's still young. I adore her, though. I think she's got a lot of potential to do really big, and she's very attractive too, so that helps. I've met Iris, and seeing her like 10 times, Miss
10 times, 10 times, 10 times.
10 times. She's got like all fingers covered. She's just such an uplifting and positive human being too. So I think she just like genuinely loves the sport.
That's good that you have to love the sport to do the sport. I mean, if you can't,
absolutely.
I mean, like I said again, there's not much in for you if you don't love the sport. I know, like I said, I believe like this. One thing I believe is like NBC and IBF should take care of the athletes. Like they should be like I just recently saw a male bodybuilder passed away. There was like not that long ago we had a bunch of deaths.
It was like one every week. It was
Martin
crazy.
Dog. John Meadows, Lena Havani. I mean, it seemed like you. I mean, but it's just one of the factors of this sport. I mean, it's if there was like what should be more concern for the athletes. You are the product. You're who we come see. We come see y'all. We don't come see the mains. We don't come see who was ever the judges or the promoter. We come see you, the athlete. It should be more, especially like, okay, I work jobs where I had health and life insurance. I still had to pay for it, but it was something I used. I mean,
but it's available.
Yeah, because a while back, a few years ago, it's going to be 10 years when I had my pacemaker. I was out of work for almost a month. I got my disability check. That was a couple $1,000s. I helped pay the bills and stuff and catch up. That's what you deserve as an athlete. Something happens, you get sick. Cover your blood work. If you have kids, so something happened to you, your kids are taken care of. I think there should be more benefits, even in the amateur level. You should take care of your athletes. I think there's. We talk about how there should be some kind of like even the pro level. It should be like who gets this, who gets that, but still enough where we cover everybody. If you look at the major sports, there's Keith. He played football. He was still getting a pension after he left football and went to bodybuilding. I mean, there should be more concern for you athletes. You're the product, and you should take care of your athletes.
Yeah, that is true. I guess I've seen it as what it is, so I guess I don't have the expectation that that's going to change.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately.
Well, the thing is, people are more worried about the short-term money than long-term money. You can't, but that's how it is. You can't come together like Mama Joe said, and so if you can't come together like a fist, you're not gonna get a mighty flow. But anyway, folks, I'd like to thank the lovely Miss Avelli for coming through. She is a beautiful woman, and to quote the other guy, she is beautiful. I'm so sorry. He comes out. He's like a dog checking cars, But we appreciate you for your time, ma'am. We wish you your best of luck next year, whatever you want to do. If you ever want to come back and share your story again, you're a welcome guest.
I appreciate that.
You're much welcome. Like shout out to people who came through, man, KL, The Wanderer, Omar Costa, John Doe, Tony 97. Thank you, brothers, for coming through. Show your support. Anybody who watched this video, comment, like, subscribe to either of us on social media. And said again, Sandra's social media is in the description. But guys, she has 3 grown sons. No D pics. Stop it. Don't do this. Have self-control. Okay? All right? All right. So, man, we appreciate you for your time. We wish you our best of luck. Stay warm up there in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. Yeah. We've gotten a mild winter this year, so no snow on the ground even.
Down here in North Carolina, if we get an inch, everything gets shut down. It's like this is that other guy stuff. Like if you just have it up there in Minnesota, it's still a foot and no one blinks an eye. But down here in North Carolina, if you have an inch, everybody goes crazy. It's true. I mean, you ready? But ma'am, I appreciate your time. I wish you all the best of luck. Kiss your babies, like I said again. Like Rocky Balboa said, you took a lot of hits. You kept moving forward, and you're still standing. Not a lot of people can say that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, I'd like to thank Sandra for coming through again. I'd like to thank my man KL, Tony 97, John Doe. All you who watch this video, comment, like, subscribe. Support these men and women sport of bodybuilding. Show genuine interest. Don't be that weird guy. Don't be that weird guy. Anyway, folks, this is me always just aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't subscribe. I'm out. Have a good afternoon and a good rest of your week.